We have tools of the trade. And I don't totally remember the exact sizing of this cutlery. I will drop the links to all this fine cutlery in the description. Let's start with this guy. This is an 11-inch Mercer, non-serrated, straight edge slicer. Now, if you've been on the interwebs anytime soon, the Instagrams of the world, you've probably seen pitmasters trimming brisket with this. There is a reason that they do that, and let's talk about it for a second. There's pros and cons to this. This knife is not made, in my opinion, for the newbie, and there's nothing wrong with being new to something, so I don't say newbie in a negative connotation, but that knife is not for someone if this is your first time trimming a brisket. The pro to using this knife is that it has long strokes, it's very sharp, it's very durable, and it holds an edge for a pretty long time. You can churn through a good amount of briskets. Also, because of the long strokes, you get a really nice, clean fat cap. It produces an aesthetic brisket. I mean, all of these can produce an aesthetic brisket because it's not the bow, it's the archer. But this one, when used right, it really allows you to get long strokes that are nice and clean, and it produces a good net result. Those are the pros. The cons, it's not maneuverable, it's not modular, it's hard to wiggle into kind of tricky areas on a brisket. And so if it's your first time, that's a little bit difficult. But yeah, I'll drop the description. If you want to try it, guys, buy any of these knives, try them out, figure out which one you like. I happen to use a combination of all of them, but I'll show you here in a second. Second knife. This is, I believe, an 8-inch Victorinox. I think that's how you say it. If it's not Victorinox, the company, so sorry. Really, I'm not. But it's Victorinox, I think. 8-inch flexi blade. This is made by the Swiss, and if you can see this, it bends. That is a bendy knife. Okay, what are the pros? Pro, extremely sharp, like surgical sharp. Flexible, maneuverable. This is a really good knife to trim briskets. I know some pitmasters that solely use this knife to trim briskets, and they trim some of the most beautiful briskets I've ever seen. So very sharp, very maneuverable, flexible. You can get into weird scenarios and dig your way out. Cons, it is so sharp that if you dig down too deep into this brisket and you scalp it, it is done. There's no going back. There's no recovering that. You need to be very surgical, very precise with your cuts. Don't get too ahead of yourself. Don't rush it. That is a con. Another con is it doesn't hold a blade for too long because of its flexibility and because of how sharp it is. I find myself sharpening this after a few briskets, and it's not that big of a deal, but I don't love that. So again, just letting you know, I'm just filling you guys in. I'm almost done. If you're still hanging with me, it's because you love barbecue. It's because you're a barbecue nerd like me. If you're like, dude, hurry up and trim the brisket, probably not the video for you, but I love you anyways. This guy, 7-inch boning knife made by Mercer, Old Faithful, the true workhorse of Texas barbecue. Everyone knows this knife. This is a mix of both worlds. Pros, durable, sharp, modular. It's curved. You can get into some weird areas. It holds a blade pretty well. Cons, really, I can't think of a con with this knife. This is just a classic knife. And so I would suggest anyone, if this is your first rodeo trimming briskets or you haven't trimmed at least a handful of briskets, start off with this guy, figure out what's going on, then you can pick the other ones up. Hey, but if you don't want to do that and you're like, just give me the big boy, then grab the big boy and have a day. Okay. We got that checked off. Let's jump into trimming the brisket. So 6 core things we're looking at. Hey guys, hope you enjoyed that clip. That clip was a segment from my almost 40-minute masterclass on how to trim a craft Texas style brisket. If you want to watch the full video, I'll link it here. And if you want to show just a little bit of love to the channel, don't hesitate to drop a comment or subscribe or like the video, if you feel so inclined to do so. Appreciate you guys. See you in the next video.